You apply for an apartment, a car loan, or a credit card, and somewhere in the background, a 3-digit number decides how it goes. It can change your interest rate, your deposit, even whether you get approved at all. And most people have never been shown what actually moves that number. There's no class for this. So today, what a credit score really is, the 5 things that decide it, the myths that scare people for no reason, and how to raise it without doing anything risky. If nobody ever walked you through this, that's normal. That's why this channel exists. Quick note, this is general education, not financial or credit advice. I'll point you to official sources like consumerfinance.gov and myfico.com, and for your situation, check with a qualified professional. First, the big idea. A credit score is just a prediction. Lenders want to guess how likely you are to pay back what you borrow. So scoring models turn your credit history into a number, commonly on a scale from 300 to 850. Higher means lower risk to the lender. It is not a measure of your income, your savings, or your worth as a person. It is a summary of how you have handled borrowed money over time. Factor number 1, and the heaviest, payment history. In the widely used FICO model, this is about 35% of your score. It answers one question: do you pay on time? A single payment that goes 30 days or more past due can be reported and can pull your score down for a long time. This is the biggest lever you control. As an illustrative weight, roughly a third of the score comes down to paying on time, every time. The exact percentages come from FICO and can vary by model. Factor number 2, credit utilization, about 30% in the FICO model. This is how much of your available credit you are using. If your cards have a combined limit of $10,000 and you are carrying $3,000, your utilization is 30%. A common rule of thumb is to keep it low. Many people aim under 30%, and lower tends to look better. High utilization signals you may be stretched, even if you always pay on time. These figures are illustrative. Check current guidance on consumerfinance.gov. Here is what utilization looks like with real math. Same $3,000 balance, 3 different limits. On a $5,000 limit, that is 60% utilization, high. On a $10,000 limit, it is 30%. On a $15,000 limit, it is 20%. Same debt, very different signal. That is why a credit limit increase, used responsibly, can sometimes help your ratio. These are illustrative examples, not a promise about your score. One thing people miss: utilization is usually calculated from the balance reported to the bureaus, which is often your statement balance, not the balance the day after you pay. So even if you pay in full every month, a high statement balance can still report as high utilization. A quiet fix some people use is paying down before the statement closes. Illustrative idea, not advice for your situation. But here's the mistake that quietly wrecks scores the most: maxing out a card even when you pay it off every single month. People think, I always pay in full, so I'm fine. But if the card reports a balance near its limit before you pay, your utilization looks high for that snapshot, and the score can dip. Paying in full protects you from interest and late marks, which matters most. But if you also want a stronger score, watch the balance that actually gets reported, not just whether you eventually pay. In about a minute, I'll give you the credit score checklist to screenshot. Every factor to check in under 2 minutes. But first, the last 3 factors, and the myths that scare people for no reason. Factor number 3, length of credit history, around 15%. This looks at how long your accounts have been open and your average account age, which is why closing your oldest card can sometimes hurt. Factor number 4, credit mix, around 10%. Having a healthy blend, like a card plus an installment loan, can help a little, but you should never take on debt just for the mix. And factor number 5, new credit, around 10%. Opening several accounts in a short window and the hard inquiries that come with them can ding your score temporarily. These are illustrative FICO weights. Put the weights together and the priority order is obvious. Payment history and utilization are roughly 65% of an FICO score combined. So if you only do 2 things, do these. pay on time, every time, and keep your reported balances low. The other three factors matter, but they move the needle far less. Illustrative weights from FICO. Other models weigh things a bit differently. Now the myths, because fear makes people do the wrong thing. Myth 1. Checking your own score hurts it. It does not. That is a soft inquiry, and it is free. Myth 2. Carrying a balance and paying interest helps your score. It does not. You can build credit while paying in full. Myth 3. Closing old cards boosts your score. Often the opposite, since it can lower your average age in available credit. Knowing what is false keeps you from sabotaging yourself. Now, the one thing nobody tells you, checking your own credit is not just safe, it is how you catch problems early. You are entitled to free credit reports from the major bureaus through the official site annualcreditreport.com. That is the one authorized by federal law, so watch out for lookalikes. Read your report for accounts you do not recognize, wrong balances, or late marks that are not yours. Errors are more common than people think, and you have the right to dispute them through consumerfinance.gov. Checking is the free move that protects the whole thing. Here's your 2-minute credit score checklist. Screenshot this. 1. Pay every bill on time. Set autopay for at least the minimum. 2. Keep reported balances low, ideally well under your limits. 3. Keep old accounts open to protect your history length. 4. Only open new credit when you actually need it. 5. Check your free reports at annualcreditreport.com and dispute any errors. Do these 5 and the number tends to take care of itself. That's the map. A credit score is a prediction. Payment history and utilization do most of the work. And the scary myths mostly are not true. If this helped, the free adulting starter kit in the description has this checklist plus a simple budget template. Next up, health insurance. Finally explained. Premium, deductible, and the trap of picking the cheapest plan. Subscribe so you don't miss it, and check consumerfinance.gov and your own report for your numbers.